So here we are in Parthenon. This is the beginning of the third and final year. I'm going to flip the event up. I'll try to move through it quickly. I've been kind of away from it from a bit because work's been painful. And it's really hard coming back to something like this. Spartan defenses. Sparta is building up its defenses. Every fleet that visits Sparta, which is this card, can sell tools at a high rate. For each tool is sold, Sparta will pay 2 pottery or 2 spices, or 1 of each. That's pretty cool. Normally, if I can find a trading value card, I left all the things up. That's what's wrong. I gotta clear up things. Normally though, even at a foreign land, if you spend a rare, it takes 2 rares to get 1, so you're getting the reverse of that. And that's at the foreign lands, which are usually the best trading opportunity. The actuality is it's 4 to 1 at Sparta normally. So this is a pretty good deal for people who want to exchange rares if they have tools. There's a couple of people who produce tools. Alright, let's move forward. Well, I finished the trading as much as I can. As the game goes on, it becomes harder and harder solitaire to figure out the trades. It's just getting so rich how many different, things there are. And probably getting harder even than a civilization game tends to. But maybe I'm just misremembering that. I used to have a pretty good pattern for handling the trading there. But here there's just so many options for what would work. Instead of usually it's, hey, I want this or this. And I've got to find somebody with that pairing or a triple with that, these commodities in them so that I can get what I need. In this, everybody's kind of got a, well, maybe I want that, maybe I don't. It's closer to trading in, say, Settlers of Catan, where you can often do something with what you want. But then some people really want something. For example, this guy right now wants 3 timber. Well, he has 2 on hand. He's only been able to trade for 2. So now he's got to try to cut deals to get that 3rd one. He's got to sail out and try to do so. So we've got 2 people taking advantage of the Sparta situation. Let's see. They run into pirates. Every fleet must choose half of its commodities to discard. Well, that's pretty painful. All right, well, that's blue A and green A. And now, of course, I've got to try to remember what they wanted there. Obviously, the tools are a deal. But what about the other commodities? Well, in his case, he's sending 3 tools, so he's okay. I mean, not happy, but he's done what he wanted. Now, if they had warships, they could avoid it. Epicureanism isn't going to hurt. So let's go on to the blue fleet and see if I can find it. He's got to discard half. Well, there go his tools. He's just lost them. And he's essentially failed in his trade. He actually can't get anything by being here. So we can take him and put him over here. Now let's look at the people who went out deeper at sea. Every fleet loses half its cargo. Now, like I said, I don't think these are worded correctly, but let's go through them. Alright, going to the orange A. Does he have something? Stoicism. Yeah, he's going to ignore it. And who else? We got, purple's got 2 out here, blue's got 1. Purple's over here. His fleets are going to lose, what did I say, half? Half their cargo at random. Ooh. Was pirates at random? No, they get to discard. So half at random. Well, I'll work through this and come back after the... Yeah, we got the harbor status too. Alright, let's see what the next one is. The next one's going to be a second storm, which is going to be even more painful. Alright, I'll come back after things have wiped. wiped out and look at the harbor status. Very painful turn for some of these players. Now, if they had warships, they could avoid it. Epicureanism isn't going to hurt. So let's go on to the You might say the Stoicism should be picked, and I may have mentioned this before, should be picked at the beginning of the turn. Maybe. In that case, I would have fired it off, presumably, for that first trade. You want it as early as possible because things kind of snowball, and if you don't make trades on one turn, you're going to fall behind further on the next. So far, I think it's fired off at the right times always. I think I forgot to use any of these philosophies on the second year, though, so I'm not sure. All right, let's see what we've got for our harbor cards, because people are picking them. Now, these don't necessarily have to be shown, but if you're going to go, they do, and the players do want to make trades. So a grape surplus is revealed here. Tribute, I believe Green wants to reveal this. He has a good deal on those tools. Yes, he could go back, but he wants to make his trades. And these players, a wool surplus. I'm sure that they're going to be revealed. I'll turn them back over if they're not. Now we're going to do the trades in the building, and we'll see what comes up. Well, made it around, and the hazards and difficulties made it not terribly easy on anyone this turn. So let's take a quick look, because we didn't get much. These guys had most of their stuff aligned, so they managed to get a spice workshop, a shrine, and finish this oracle, which is going to allow them... Athens will come and make a trade or sell you a great wonder plan. You don't have to worry about their harbor status. They'll come to you and do it during what? The island trade phase at the start of it. So before you can cut deals with people, but you're going to get that. These guys were able to manage their lighthouse, which gives them 2 wonders. All of their fleets sailing to neighboring lands are unaffected by storms. That's kind of cool. And they paid their stuff for that. These guys, and the prices may not be exactly what you need. They built the Colossus, which is going to be each season at the start of the island trade. You can invite emissaries from a foreign land of your choice to visit each island with a great harbor. Each of those islands immediately gets a trade as though they were visiting the land. They have a great harbor. This gives a bonus to everyone, but you get the choice there. However, you are ignoring the land's harbor status cards, so you're not going to get any great bonuses there, but you can get troops, you can get warships. A little easier than having to sail out and do it, and you can do it before you have to actually sail out, which is kind of cool. Poor Green, Naxos. They got really hosed by the turn because their one fleet didn't make it. They ended up having to discard a rare and have a whole handful of stuff. They just couldn't buy anything. Over here we got a purchase of a tool workshop. That's the best the blue could do, actually. They were hoping, I think, to convert one of these. I don't remember. It's hard to remember. Or at least get some gold or something. Crete. Well, Crete was in an interesting position because they, in order to promote this one, they had to give up their entire production. And they had to give up all their cards and then their production. They only had 1 card left. They had planned that well. But then they had to give up their production, which is a huge expense. But they need to get up in that wonders category. So right now we have one person with a 3 and a 2. This poor guy's at 1 and 2. This poor guy's only at 1 with 1. Over here we've got just a 3. Here we've got fully built pair of 3s. Fully built pair of 3s. So we see where the lead really is right now. Alright, I guess we'll move on to the second turn after I handle the discards. I think nobody's really too upset with what Naxos is doing here, so they're going to be left in charge. Okay, so another painful season coming up. And here we have Roman Glory, which somebody's already peeked at. The person here with the Oracle has peeked at these. And seen this one in advance. Rome has become an immortal of Greek culture. Once per game, each island that visits Italy will be given a gold commodity for every philosophy card it possesses. That's something you want to take advantage of soon. It would have been nice, well, maybe earlier when the rush wasn't on, to get other things and where the philosophy cards would be more valuable. I started the game thinking philosophy was very valuable. And since then I've kind of reassessed that, and everybody jumped on philosophy, and now like the groupthink is saying, it's not that valuable. But with this card, it's becoming much, much more useful. And I think we'll see some people moving towards that. I got to do the production, and then jump into trade, and we'll see what we get. Here at the start of the trade phase, a number of the people are using their great wonders as powers. For one thing, for example, the Temple of Artemis has duplicated the Oracle of Apollo's power and looked at the event cards. There's a couple interesting ones in there, and it'll help plan. Now, if I can remember throughout the turn, basically, and I'm having a hard time even standing here playing one turn without taking a break, what's going on, that will help these couple of people. Another one, the Colossus, has been used, or is being used, to invite Romans to anyone with a great harbor. These guys have a great harbor, they want to make some trades. They don't have any grapes. They might be able to get a bonus price on grapes. Well, no, they don't get a bonus price on grapes because the harbor cards are ignored. But it doesn't really help or hurt, and they can conceivably buy an army, which might be of value to them. They could have also bought a fleet by inviting Carthage or Papyrus, which they don't terribly need. So this seemed the best route for them. Let me see, someone else, this guy over here is doing, to request Athenians to come and make trades with them as well. They have a great harbor, or no? I don't see a great harbor, so that's actually very helpful to them. And this kind of reduces their dependence on the trade fleets. But this trading happens before you trade with players, so you might not get as good a deal as you could get afterwards. Anyway, we'll see what happens throughout the trading. Looking at Rhodes' plan for the season, they've actually just built, or are planning on building their last two civics. That'll give them all their buildings, except they don't have the wonders built yet. They still are at level 1 and level 2. They're going to have the points. They're going to be able to grow one of them up to level 3. The other one, I believe, is going to be more painful, and it's going to take them until the entire turn to get to that. They've got to get a gold commodity for there. So they don't quite have. They do. They'll trade another gold for that, but they don't quite have what they want or what they need to win the game at this point, and they're probably not going to be able to do it. Well, they can't do it this turn. I don't think they can do it next turn either, because their following one is they have to get a papyrus. They can't get the gold and the papyrus out of the way this turn. They just don't have the resources. So they will end the game by the last turn, assuming nothing strange happens, but they're not going to be able to end it before then. Well, it turns out the rules and the cards actually do match. I was worried they didn't. I drew a storm card that says the fleets with the most cargo discard everything. So it is specific. The cards are not in disagreement. It just, there aren't many of that kind of card. I feel like I was misled perhaps by that. The nearby ships, and there's not a lot of shipping because there was all this free trading going on. The nearby ships made it safely to their harbors, but the poor guy going off to try to get his philosophy bonus for Rome, well, he's going to lose his entire cargo. He's got no way around that. I don't think he has any abilities that'll allow him to negate that. The Stoicism would have, but he used that last turn. So this is a painful solution for him. Now, he actually has to draw 2 cards. He doesn't have a working fleet, but I do have to draw the second one just to make sure. Now his fleet doesn't make it there because it has nothing on it, so he comes back. For the most part, the purchases have been selected. I have to think about him because he was planning on making some trades in Italy as well as getting that gold, but he got a big setback. But everyone else more or less got their shit together and settled, and they're all very close to winning.